Here we have a frustum. Frustum's made from removing a small cone from a large cone as shown in the diagram. Frustum is made from glass. The glass has a density of 2.5 grams per centimetre cubed. Work out the mass of the frustum, give your answer an appropriate degree of accuracy. First thing I would do is mentioning those buzzwords of mass, density. So I'll try and work out the formula. Let's say I've forgotten it in the exam. Does that give me a clue? Well, grams goes on the top, that's a measurement of mass. Centimetres cubed is a measurement of volume. So I can work out that must be the density. Mass is density times the volume. So I need to do 2.5 times the volume. Seems a nice easy question. However, I don't have the volume of this solid. And I also don't know how to work out the volume of a frustum. So I'm going to have to think, what shapes can I see? Well, I could see a nice large triangle, pyramid. And I can see a small one here that I don't actually want. So if I could work out the two volumes of those two shapes, maybe do something with them, take away the small one from the large one, we'd be able to get the volume. They've also been very generous and told me the volume of a cube is cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. So I'll do 1/3 times pi times r. Could go wrong. Very tempting to write 12, but I think it's 6, half of 12, squared, times the vertical height of 15. And I'll start tapping that in the calculator. 1/3 times pi times 6 squared times 15. The calculator says 180 pi. I'm going to leave it as 180 pi. You could press SD if you wanted to. Then we got the small cone, which looks quite similar. So we got to do 1/3 times pi times a major problem. I don't have the radius. But I do have the height. 15 minus 10 is 5. And if I draw on the height there of 5 and the height of the large cone, 15, I wonder how we go from 5 to 15. Well, if you're not sure, just tap 5 divided by 15 in the calculator and it says to go from the large cone to the small cone, we third it. So the radius, which was 6, is now going to be 1/3 of 6. So the radius will be 2. Back to what we were supposed to be doing. 1/3 times pi times the radius, which is 2 squared, times the vertical height, which we worked out was 5. And tap it in the calculator. 1/3 times pi times 2 squared times 5, giving me an answer of 20/3 of pi. I'm going to leave it as 20/3 of pi. And if you remember, we were supposed to be working out the volume of the frustum. So it's 180 pi minus 20/3 of pi. The volume is 520 over 3 pi. Of course, you could press SD and start writing down 550, 544, etc. What were we supposed to be doing? We were supposed to be working out the mass of the frustum. Well, mass was density times the volume. The density is 2.5. The volume was 520 over 3 pi. We'll tap that in the calculator. Gives me an answer of 1361.356 ... It says give my answer to an appropriate degree of accuracy. Well, to be honest, I would probably look at these numbers. That's 2 significant figures. That's a couple of significant figures here. We've got 2 significant figures here. So I would probably give my answer to the 2 most important numbers. Is it a 13 or is it a 14? Well, the 6 will push it up to a 14. 2 placeholders, 1400 grams. If it did say kilograms, remember 1.4, but here 1400 grams.